The words landed like a door slammed shut behind me. "You're done here. Pack your things." He leaned back in the CEO's chair, legs crossed, fingers steepled like he'd earned the posture. The office still smelled like the CEO's cologne, cedar and restraint. But the man sitting there had neither. "I'm in charge now," he said, sneering. "Your boss knows that, right?" I remember the calm that followed. Not peace, control. I told him to think twice and talk to the lawyer first. He smirked. "No need, just get out." So I did, quietly, carrying nothing but time. I met him 6 years earlier when he still shook hands like he was grateful. I was the one who onboarded him, walked him through systems that didn't forgive mistakes. He learned fast, too fast. He watched how I spoke in meetings, when I stayed silent, which battles I chose not to fight. I mistook observation for respect. Back then, we talked about growth like it was a shared future, promotions, stability, legacy. I believed in the work. I believed in the chain of command. I believed loyalty was a currency that compounded. When the CEO announced his vacation, 3 weeks abroad, unreachable, I didn't flinch. We'd survived audits, hostile takeovers, regulators with knives hidden behind smiles. I trusted the structure. I trusted the paper trail. I shouldn't have trusted the man. The shift was subtle. Calendar invites stopped coming. Decisions I'd signed off on were suddenly revisited. My access badge hesitated at doors it knew me at. He'd started holding meetings without me, then summarizing them badly, like a child retelling a movie he didn't understand. I didn't confront him. I watched. The proof came late one night in a forwarded email he didn't realize I was copied on. A legal memo, half-baked, authorizing temporary restructuring during the CEO's absence. His signature was there. So was mine. Scanned, cropped, pasted. That's when the hurt burned off. What remained was clarity. I didn't react. I prepared. I called our external counsel, the one who'd negotiated our last compliance settlement, and asked a neutral question. I pulled server logs at dawn. I documented access changes. I archived emails. I photographed the office directory before my name disappeared. I filed nothing yet. When he fired me, it was clean. No witnesses, no paperwork beyond a verbal dismissal he believed would evaporate. He underestimated how permanence works. I let HR escort me out. I smiled at the receptionist. I waved at security like this was my idea. Then I went to work. The plan wasn't revenge. It was sequence. First, preserve evidence, chain of custody, timestamp everything. Second, notify counsel, not a lawsuit, an alert. Third, inform the board's compliance subcommittee, quietly, factually. Fourth, wait. While he played CEO, I let him. He signed things he didn't have authority to sign. He moved budgets he didn't understand. He dismissed people who remembered where bodies were buried. Every move tightened the net. I said nothing publicly. Silence is terrifying when you deserve it. The CEO returned on a Monday. I wasn't there. Neither was the acting director. I got the call at 9:14 a.m. "Are you sitting down?" the board chair asked. I wasn't. I was standing by the window watching traffic obey rules it didn't care about. "What the hell did you do while I was gone?" the CEO was shouting in the background. I could hear it through the speaker, raw and confused. The acting director tried to speak. Then the CEO froze, because he'd found the documents, the forged signature, the unauthorized terminations, the compliance breach flagged by counsel the moment he landed. And then he found out who took his place. They brought me back that afternoon, not as a favor, as a necessity. The acting director was there, pale now, posture collapsed, hands useless in his lap. He wouldn't look at me. I didn't need him to. The CEO spoke fast. Apologies, shock, damage control. I waited. When it was my turn, I didn't raise my voice. I didn't need to. I warned him, I said.
to talk to the lawyer first. That was all. The room understood the rest. He was escorted out with a box smaller than the one I'd carried. HR moved efficiently when the law was awake. His access was cut. His title evaporated. His reputation followed. No shouting, no spectacle, just consequences. I don't feel victorious. I feel aligned. Betrayal teaches you something brutal and useful. Some people don't want your seat. They want to erase the fact you ever earned it. I didn't stop him from trying. I let him prove it. Revenge isn't loud. It's patient. It's built from documents and timing and the discipline to let your enemy finish speaking. I still sit in the same office. The chair smells like cedar again. And every time someone asks how I handled it so calmly, I think of the moment he smirked and told me to get out. I did, and I took the long way back in.